Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of West Virginia Shooting and Reloading. All right, so today I'm working on some 7.8, loading up some of these Speer Hot Core 130 grain Spitzer bullets. Get them on the camera there. Loading up a couple different loads to try out this weekend. Actually taking a day off work tomorrow to go to the range. I'm also going to be building a new bench this weekend too, so I got to go get some material. But anyway, what I want to talk about this morning is the other day on Facebook I seen someone talking about full length sizing versus neck sizing, and I know this is a very hot topic, so I want to spend a little bit of time talking about that and my personal experiences with it. By the way, right now I'm doing 49 grains of Sta-Bil 6.5 with these. I also did, I'm going to be testing 44 IMR 4064, 40 and 41 of Accurate 4064. So I'm going to test a few different ones to try to find the best accuracy. But anyway, so I know the sizing topic's a pretty hot topic, so I want to talk about it a little bit. I've seen someone asking about should they full length or should they just neck size? The answer to that is very simple, and it's something I talk about a lot. It's what works best for you and your particular firearm. Now, some things you have to full length size. You know, semi-automatic, you just about always have to full length those. My AR, I've neck sized some of them just to kind of see. And some ARs, like my Diamondback, for example, it'll shoot anything. I could probably put rocks in it and it'd shoot them. I've had no issues at all with that rifle. But the Ruger AR-556, you've got to full length those on a small base. That you just have to. You've got to really, because it's kind of finicky. And of course pistols, you're always going to full length those. But your bottleneck cartridges, they say if you are using a bolt action rifle, that you should be able to neck size and it worked fine. And in 99% of the cases, it will work. But I've noticed, like my Savage 10 22-250, if I just neck size that brass, it doesn't want to. It has a hard time, chambering. It'll work, but it just, the cases are very, very tight, very tight. And I've tried adjusting my die, and I've done all of those things, and it just, that particular rifle full length seems to be the way to go. Now, I hear people talk about accuracy between sizing. And yeah, there will be some accuracy differences between full length and neck, because if you full length size a case, it brings it back to pretty much factory specifications. So in other words, if you use a full length die, you're in a case that is full length die, it's going to size that case to what the manufacturer says that case should be sized to, from top to bottom. Okay? If you just neck size a case, only thing it does, it just squeezes the neck back into place. That's all it does. It doesn't do anything to the body. When you fire a cartridge, if you have, let's say you go buy a box of ammo and you shoot that ammo, that cartridge swells to the size of your chamber. The neck, the body, everything, it swells to the size of your chamber. That's part of what creates the pressure. It causes the bullet to go down the barrel, and etc. So when you neck size, you're bringing the neck back down, creating the tension to hold the bullet, and so it'll go back into the chamber. When you neck size, it leaves the body the size it was when it fired in your chamber. So when you put that case back in your firearm after you've neck sized and primed and powder, new bullet and all that, when you put it back in there, it fits that chamber, right? It's like custom made. That's why people talk about fire forming. So that case belongs to that rifle, right? Now people talk about, should I neck size or should I full length size? I've seen people say you don't need a neck size. I've seen people say you shouldn't full length. I've seen all these different things. At the end of the day, what really matters is what is giving you the best result in your firearm. If full length sizing gives you the result you're looking for, whether it be accuracy, speed, hunting, whatever the case is, if full length sizing gives you your personal desired result, then yeah, you should full length size. If neck sizing gives you your personal desired result, then neck size. I have some firearms that I only neck size for, like my 6mm Creedmoor. I only neck size for that rifle because I have found if I just neck size those cases, it gives me the desired result that I'm looking for. I can stack them right on top of each other. If a full length size, it throws my accuracy off just a little bit. It's not extreme, but it's enough to notice. My 6.5 Creedmoor, same thing. I only neck size it. Now, those cases, I will full length both the 6mm and the 6.5. I will full length size that brass about every third or fourth firing. And basically that just keeps the brass from not fitting too tight in the chamber. That's all it does. And I'll go out and fire form it and start all over. Now, my 7.8, the one I'm loading for right now, I full length size every time because I found that if I just neck size those, I'm not getting the accuracy that I'm looking for. But if I full length size them, I'm getting my personal desired result, and the chamber's fine and have no issues. So my best advice would be, if you're trying to decide whether you should full length or neck size, get both dies. Get a neck and a full length sizing die. Find your load that you like, that shoots pretty well on your firearm. Take 10 cases in neck size. Take 10 cases in full length size, but do the exact same load in both cases. And monitor the result and see what one gives you the best result. See what one you're the most happy with. Same thing goes with seating depth. If you go by the book, it's going to tell you seat them to whatever, 2.73 or whatever the book says. Now, I'm just writing on the case here. Now, your lands is going to be different than what the book says. Your magazine length is going to be different than the lands. So that's another thing where you have to test and you have to see what works best for you. Some loads you may find work best closest to the lands. Some loads you may find that just loading it by what the book says is best. What I always do personally is I will start out, if I'm starting a new load for a new gun or just a new bullet or whatever, if I'm starting something from scratch, I will full length size, no matter what it is, I'll full length size the brass, and I will go 100% by the book as far as the length, the trim, everything. I'll follow what the book says, and that's where I start. With the load that I'm working on, I'll start low and work my way up. Now I'll do lighter loads. And the lighter loads I do, it just kind of depends. Sometimes I'll do 3, sometimes I'll do 5. And then when I find, when I start getting close to what I'm looking for, then at that point, that's when I'll start working on the other variables like the overall length, the powder charge, what primer I'm using, whether a full or an exit. But you got to find that starting point. And for me personally, you may be different. Your starting point may be different than mine. But me personally, I will start with going by exactly what the book says and go from there. I have, measured. I've, measured where the lands are on rifles. I've made a dummy case with a loose neck and put it in there and then see where it touches. I've done all those things, but again, I found that sometimes if you go against the lands, then you get high pressure or you got crappy accuracy or it don't chamber. And then again, I've seen some, you go against the lands and it shoots perfect. So that's where you got to find that starting point and work your way up to that. And again, it all goes back to what works best for you. I hear people all the time, and there'll probably be people comment on this. Well, you need to do this, and you're supposed to do that, and you should do it this way, and you need to get one of these, and you need... No, I don't need to do all that. What I need to do is to do what works best for me. Now, of course, you want to stay within the safe guidelines. You want to go by the book. You don't want to, go trying to mix powders, and, you don't need to be stupid with it. But, you find the technique and method that works best for you, that gives you the desired result you're looking for. And if you do that and stay safe about it, then you'll be able to develop some pretty good hand loads. But where a lot of people make mistakes is they will rely on getting on Facebook and asking people, hey, what's the best load for this? Or what powder you use for that? Look, Sta-Ball 6.5 might work perfect in my rifle, but it won't work at all in yours. Like H380, for example. A lot of people swear by that powder using it in 22-250, okay? I have probably tried 25 different combinations with that powder in my 22-250, and I can't find a load for crap. But it does well in a couple other rifles. So again, it all goes back to your rifle, what you're looking for, and what works best for you. That's what it all goes back to, and that's the rule of thumb. One other thing I want to talk about is we're approaching an election year, so and then supposedly a lot of powder manufacturers are going to be raising their prices. Now, if you remember a few years ago, last election year, same thing happened, and powder got hard to find, primers got hard to find, and all of that. And when you could find it, it was expensive. And then, of course, all the guys were saying, oh, if y'all don't buy it, the prices will come down. Well, here we are all these years, the prices ain't went down, okay? So, that being said, there's going to be people trying to scam people. That prices are going to be high, and people's going to be saying, oh, if you don't buy it, the price will go down. That's bull. If you need it, buy it. That's simple. If you need it, and you can afford it, buy it, okay? Find a couple of good powders that work good for you. Now, yeah, I've got all kinds of powders and bullets and things, but what I've done is found a couple powders that are easily accessible, and I have worked up loads with just those powders, and I have found, a few good loads for each of my firearms that I load for. And so that way, if I can't find some other powder, I know I can make a load with Sta-Ball or Accurate or whatever, BLC2, whatever. If I can't find Varget, okay, well, cool. I know I can make a comparable load using BLC2 because I've tested it. So my advice is find a few powders that are accessible to you, work up loads with those powders, and make sure you have plenty of those powders. Try to keep them on hand as much as possible, and you'll be able to load. Now, as far as the scams go, I'm going to name off a few places that I have had good experiences with. I don't know if I'm really allowed to do this or not. We'll do it anyway. And if we get in trouble, we'll get in trouble. But I'm going to name off a few places I've had good experiences with, and if any of you guys happen to think of any places you've had good experiences with, feel free to leave it in the comments, because I'm sure it'll help someone else out. But Midway, you can order from Midway. I personally had an experience with Midway that wasn't so pleasant, but I'm not going to knock the company for that. Because I know a lot of people have had good experiences with them. So Midway's a good place. You just got to watch their shipping a little bit sometimes. Powder Valley, I've had nothing but good experiences with Powder Valley. They are phenomenal. So if anybody from Powder Valley happens to see this, you guys are great. Thank you. Natchez, they're another good place. I've had great experiences with Natchez. Republic Ammunition up in Lima, Ohio. They're a great place. I've talked to the guy on the phone. He doesn't have a whole lot of things, but he has a lot of the basic stuff: primers, powder. Has some bullets and a lot of brass. He's a great guy. If you call him, he'll answer the phone. I mean, he's just a really cool guy. So Republic Ammunition in Lima, Ohio. So if you happen to see this, thank you. You're great. Let's see what else. Graff and Sons, they're good. Mid-South, they're really good. Red Eye's good. American Reloading, they're really good. Their website changed recently, so I haven't really ordered nothing since they've changed their website, but they're really good. Everglades, their shipping's a little slow, but they're good. Let's see, where else? I'm trying to think here. I'm starting to run out of names. Let's see, Sportsman's Warehouse, Academy. They don't have a whole lot in the form of powders and things, but they have a lot of bullets and stuff. So if there's Academy near you, or you can go on the internet, Academy's pretty good to get things from. So there's a lot of good places out there that you can order from that are legit, that will treat you right. Cabela's, I used to get a lot of stuff from them. They're a big name store, but still, I used to get a lot of things from them. But anyway, do your research. When you see these places posting this and that, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. Okay. But do your research. I can't stress that enough. Okay. When you see these places that only want to take Bitcoin, look, don't order from them. Even if they are, just don't fool with them. If they're trying to get you to PayPal stuff or whatever, also watch for how they're spelling. When you see a post that says, "Who needs primer?" I mean, you got to watch out for things like that. But the biggest thing is just do your research before you give someone your money, okay? But again, the main places, look, you can go to Powder Valley. They usually always have what you need. Natchez, Republic Ammunition, Mid-South, Midway, Graff and Sons, Brownells, those guys, they're all great to deal with. So, and then there's several other little smaller places all over the country. Sage is really good. West Sage, he's a good dude. But again, do your research, and just be careful, And when people start talking about prices, you always got those guys. It's, I stocked up back in 2003. Okay, well, eventually that stock's going to run out. Okay, me personally, I load a lot. Okay, I probably go through, in a month's time, I go through a few thousand primers. I load a lot. Okay, I load more than what I probably should. I don't shoot half of what I load. I load because I enjoy it. It's something I like to do. It's how I decompress. But if you're smart about it and you're careful about it and you're just a weekend plinker, you can get you a couple bricks of primers, a couple pounds of powder, a couple hundred bullets, and you can do pretty good. You don't have to go all out. You don't have to, okay? And really, you just need the basics. You see these guys that spend thousands of dollars on all kinds of high-tech stuff. You don't have to have all that. It's cool if you do. I mean, I've got like 10 presses, okay? I don't need half this crap. It's cool if you have it. It's handy if you have it, but you don't have to do it. You can get your little basic hand loader, a pound of powder, a brick of primers and 100 bullets and some brass, and you can load what you need. I mean, you get these guys that get all these, high-tech expensive equipment and stuff. You don't have to get all those things. It's good if you do. It's handy if you do. There's always, you're getting sorted out. There's always that guy that's like, oh, you need to get one of these and you need to get one of those. And then you're at the range and you see the guy that spends half his day setting up his equipment just to fire 10 rounds. I mean, you don't got to do all that, okay? I mean, it's cool, and to each his own. If that's what works for you and that's what you like to do, then go for it. But I don't want any of the new reloaders to think that you need $5,000 to start reloading. Okay, you don't. If you're just getting started out, man, you can get started out with a couple $100. Find somebody that's got some stuff for sale. I mean, there's a lot of people that's getting old that's starting to get out of the hobby, so if you're just shooting pistols and stuff, get you some lead, a melter, and a couple molds. You can make your own bullets, okay? Get you some Primol. Watch my video on making your own primers. You can make your own primers. You can make your own bullets, and as far as pistols go, I mean, you can get a couple pounds of powder. And if you're shooting stuff like 9mm or 38 or 327 or something, a couple pounds of powder will last you forever. So, I mean, you don't have to go so far down the rabbit hole that you got to mortgage your house. You don't have to do that, okay? And, just start out small and build on what you got. That's what I did. I bought some stuff off a buddy of mine, and, several years ago, my dad gave me some stuff. I've had friends that I've done swapping and trading around with, and I've just kind of built on to what I've got. And, it's a good hobby. So, but anyway, I'm not going to take up any much more of your time. Remember, as far as the sizing stuff goes and the overall length, look, just find what works good for you. Find the method that works good for you, and, go for it. It's all in what result you're looking for. So, find the result that looks good for you and roll with it and stick with that, and then you'll have a good time. Anyway, thanks for watching. Remember, if you're not shooting, you should be reloading. Have a great day.